Hi, we're here today. I got a phone call from a neighbor and her washing machine won't spin and won't drain. What's happening is it's agitating, it's doing the full wash cycle, except it's not doing the critical parts, which is draining, rinsing, and spinning. It's not doing anything, it's just sitting here. So her clothes are sitting here in water. So what we're going to do today is, I believe, I'm 99.9% sure that what the problem is she needs a new lid switch. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be replacing the lid switch. So let me go ahead and get my apron on, because we need a trusty apron, don't we? And then we're going to get to work. So you're going to watch me replace a lid switch, and hopefully we can get this thing working, okay? Okay, now the apron's on, and we're going to go ahead. I'm going to take the jacket off, and then we're going to get to work here, all right? So I'm going to throw my jacket here. I did bring some tools over here, screwdriver, a couple of different ones, Phillips head, slotted, a miniature, a little wrench. So we'll see what we're going to need. And I went ahead and went over to Sears to get a lid switch. I looked at the model number, which you can always find that inside your washing machine. Right here, it will clearly tell you the make and the model number. So I took the model number, ran over to Sears in a jiffy, and got a lid switch. It cost $40, and here it is, and that's what we're going to be replacing today. So come on, let's get started. Okay, first things first, we're going to have to remove this whole housing and this lid in order to get to the lid switch. So you do that by first grabbing onto these plastic inserts, and you pull this and pull these out. You see, they come out very easily. Screwdrivers, you can see there's two Phillips screws here. I've got my Phillips head screwdriver, and I'm going to go ahead and undo these two screws so I can get this housing off. It actually is quite simple. You shouldn't be ever intimidated when you're going to do a do-it-yourself project at home. You can always go online, YouTube, Google, whatever. You can get the information. When I got this screw out, do this one. Alright, now what we have to do is lift this up. This actually, I know it might be scary to some of you, but this actually just lifts up. And voila, there you have the guts of the system here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to detach this plug. But for safety reasons, what we want to do, safety first, always have your appliance unplugged when you're going to be working on it so you don't get shocked. Now, in order to do it, you need a slotted screwdriver. And what you have to do is you stick your screwdriver in here, and believe it or not, you pull forward, and then they pop straight up. See? I'll show you over here. If you want to come close and take a look here, we stick our screwdriver in here, this way. You stick it down in here, and you actually pull your screwdriver forward, and they pop straight up. So that's how the clips come out. We'll set the clips right here. Now what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to rock our component outward here so we can actually get to it and lift this off, okay? That's our next step. Okay, now next we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove this actual switch here. We're going to unplug this. And we're going to take our screwdriver here, and we just pull this forward like this, and as you can see, it just unsnaps right there. So now we've got this unhooked. So now we can actually remove the component so we can get in, because we're going to have to get two screws out right here for the lid switch in order to get to it so we can replace it. Okay, so next I'm going to set the screwdriver down, and we're actually going to move this entire component out away from here so we can get to the screws. And how we're going to do this is like so. I'm going to go over here. Alright, so, and it's really not that heavy. We're going to have to remove this whole area, this unit, from here, so there's space here. Okay. Okay, so now you can see we've removed the whole unit. It's not very heavy to all of. One hand. Easier for us to go ahead and get into these two screws, which I'd like you to see right here. There are two screws right here that are going to allow us to get into where the switch assembly actually is, where the wires are. So we're going to go ahead and undo these two screws right here. Okay, so this is the last screw here, and I have my other hand under here because that's actually where the switch assembly is. And always remember, people, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Now here, as you can see, we have the assembly here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how it comes in two parts. So I'm going to get a little driver here and I'm going to loosen that up so we can remove this wire. And then as you can see, we have these clips to take out here, all along here inside. And then it comes right here to our switch housing. And we'll be replacing that as well. Okay, so what I have here is an 11/32 socket, and that's what we're going to use to loosen this ground. Alright, so we have that done. So I'm going to go ahead and set this right here so I don't lose it. And then we're going to have to go ahead and get the clips off of here. And another one here, this wire will actually just slide up, and I will show you. And here it's kind of hard to do without being able to see. And then here we have the plug. So we're going to go ahead and undo this right now, and then we're going to get started and get the other switch. We have to get our slotted head screwdriver here, and then we're going to have to remove this clip this way to loosen it up here. So we're going to stick this in here, push in. There's a flange on there. We're going to push in. Easier said than done, but isn't life like that always? Okay, you little turkey. And then pull it down. And then there we have it. Alright. As you can see, these flange out a little bit, so you have to push them in. Sometimes a little aggressively. And it pops right out. This is the new switch assembly in its packaging. I'm going to go ahead and throw that down here. So as you can see, all brand new. And we're going to go ahead, and now we have to do everything in reverse. We have to go down here, and we're going to have to stick this up through this hole first, like so. Did you hear it click in? It clicked. The flange is in. Now I'm going to have to run these wires back under these clips. So if you pardon me for a second here, put it in this clip, and I have to grab this other clip here that fell down momentarily. And take this and put this clip back here. Here. Now, if you pardon me, I'm going to go ahead and squeeze inside the component here, and I'm going to place this right inside here. Oops, I've got to get this wire behind this clip as well. Okay. So now we are right here at the switch assembly. Whoops, I'm going to have to clamp that on there. A little bit better. Whoopsie daisy. Right there. Okay. Now we're clamped and ready to go, and I'm going to hook in my ground wire. So I got to grab my little nutsy bolt here, and then we'll be on our way. Here we go. I'm going to attach the ground wire. Here's the screw. Here's the ground wire. Here's the socket, and I'm going to go ahead and attach that. Make sure it's nice and secure, which it is. Face it that way. All right, and now we're on to our next step. The screw holes are right here. Here are the screw holes here for the switch, and as the switch operates, see, that's a lid switch. Just into position here, and I'm going to take my two screws here, and as you can see, I'm right here in position. I'm going to stick my first screw right here, get it started, and then take my second screw here. I can see the hole here and line it up. It's cute. It looks like a little face, doesn't it? Two eyes and a little mouth. So, how you doing? I'm doing fine. How are you? A lot better now. Alrighty. So let's go ahead. I'm going to hold on to this. And everything's always just by trial and error. So don't be afraid to try things. I mean, if it doesn't work out, no big deal. You know, you gave it a good shot, and you can always call out a plumber. But I suggest everybody try things and learn. That's how you learn, is from experience. If we don't make mistakes, how are we to learn anything? I love making mistakes, because when I make them, then I know, hey, I'm not going to do that again. And if I do, well, it's just another lesson I have to learn a bit better the next time. And then you get smarter from it. So that's why I love doing everything myself, because it's always a great learning experience. And I'm not afraid to try new stuff. Alright, so now that we've got these screws in, we're going to go to the next step, alright? Surprise! Bet you never seen a girl pop out of a washing machine before. Normally it's always a cake. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and secure these. I want to make sure that they're in, secure, make sure that they're tight enough. And I want you all to see, look it, come here. Looky, looky, looky. Hear that? That sound is golden. Switch is working. I love that sound. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to walk this into position, and literally I'm going to walk this into position before I get out. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and, now that I'm out, put this into position here. Back where we got it. Angle it back in here. Nice and easy. Now is this part, when you're getting on here, sometimes it's trying to, you know, rev up in the front. But what you want to do is you want to try to feel under here and line it up with the rails, and then you'll see that it's secure. Rail right here, and there's a little clip right here down here below that fits right in on this groove. So you want to pull this back. It's lightweight, so you pull it back and you want to set it right on top of that, okay? In the process of putting this unit back together, what I have discovered is we have a clamp that is actually rusted and disintegrated, as you can see here. This is going to have to be replaced. It's virtually, just for the time being, I'm just going to go ahead and use a lock tie on here for right now, because she has to do some laundry for her family. So until I can order that part, I'll have to go back to Sears tomorrow. But I'm going to just put a lock tie on that just for now until we can replace the clamp, which that's what we'll go ahead and do tomorrow. Alright, now what I'm going to do is go ahead and connect this switch. There. Now it's fastened and connected. So now we're going to go ahead and put together our housing. I'm going to go ahead and get the little screws and the screwdriver, and then that's what we're going to... Okay, now we just went ahead and we got that plugged in. Now we have to get our lock clips and our slotted head screwdriver. So as you remember what we did before, we have to just retrace our steps. We're going to have to take this, slide this back in, pull it forward, and with a little bit of force, not too much, as you can see, I'm going to take my fingers and you can hear it lock in place. See, like so. It's just that simple. And I'll go ahead and do the other side here as well. Lock this into place. Fix it in a second as soon as we push it into place. And then I'm going to push forward. Oops. One second. Alright, and that's that. And now it's locked into place. So now we'll go ahead and get our screws and go to the next step, which is putting this back together in our final steps here. Okay, now I've got my Phillips head screwdriver and the 2 screws so we can secure this. We're going to go ahead and put this down at this point, like so. And then there's 2 clips that are going to go ahead and lock into place, as you can hear. That side in, and now that side. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my screwdriver, my screw, just go ahead and attach these screws like so. And I really think, folks, that the hardest part of this whole process is really aligning the component back onto the rails. That's one of the situations that you may need a little bit of help if you're not strong enough to set this on. I mean, although the unit is very lightweight, but sometimes it takes 2 eyes to see if you're lining it up on the rail, because the front part has to sit under, so underneath that frame. Alright, so now we've got this done, so we're going to go right on to our next step here, which is getting our plastic caps here so we can finish the assembly. Alright, that's good and tight. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this. See which side is what. As you can see, there are flanges here, and as indicated, you stick them in just like so. And we'll place these caps right back on here into place. Alright, I can see right here that that goes here and that goes here. And this one over here goes in this place like this, and that one in here, and that one just snaps right in. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and shove this back into position, and then I'm going to plug it back in, and then we're going to go ahead and take it for a test spin. It's my favorite part. Here, I'm going to rock it back and forth so we can get it out of the way for this door. Alright. Kind of reminds me of nails on a chalkboard. I don't like that sound too much, but it goes with the territory. I'm going to have to hear some of that You're moving it in position. Now always don't get it too close to the wall, folks, because you really don't want to have any of your hoses crimped. And obviously you don't want it too close to the door so she can make access out of the door. Alright. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug her in. With this, I'm going to have to go back and reach back to get the cord. Alright. Here we go. She's in. Let's turn her on and see. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and give this a test run, a quick run through. And it's filling up, which is good news, but it was doing that before. So now the real test is I'm going to put it on rinse here and see if it fills up, you know, to do the rinse cycle. And it is. So now let's go ahead and the real test is see if it will spin. And it is spinning. So it was the lid switch. In most cases, 99.9% of the time, when your washing machine will fill up and it will agitate, but it stops. It just keeps shutting off mid-cycle, and it won't rinse, and it won't spin, and obviously it won't drain. It is normally, like I said, the lid switch is what the problem is. And as you can see, it was fairly simple to do. Until next time, I want you all to remember, if I can do it, you can do it.